Well, hello and welcome to Qlik Spotlight. And I have under my spotlight today the very great pleasure of introducing one of our newest employees, actually, Nish Patel. Welcome, Nish.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
It's great to have you on board. Obviously, as part of the Crunch Data Crunch Bot acquisition. So, give us a little bit of history, just to briefly around Crunch Data and Crunch Bot. So, the evolution of them.
So, it's very interesting because we are three Qlik employees and one customer who started Crunch Data. And Charney and I, actually, Charney was the first person I met on the first day at office. So, we met and we went, I think we had a breakfast, something like that together. And after years, we started this company and Crunch Data, and have so many employees now, offices in head offices in so many cities. And from that, we started CrunchBot as a product. So, and now we are here with Qlik. So I think it's really exciting to come back sort of to home. I think it's a great feeling.
Yeah, so what was your role at Qlik then? But just is it interesting for me to know because I know I was around when you were at Qlik, but I'm just trying to place you. What were you doing at Qlik before you left?
Yeah, great question. So actually, it starts before Qlik, right? So I worked for a Qlik partner and then joined Qlik. With Qlik partner, I was a senior architect. We developed a lot of custom solutions and products in healthcare. So, and then I joined Qlik, and at Qlik I was an architect, delivering consulting solutions to large customers, some of our enterprise customers.
Yeah, so because Charney was also on that side as well, wasn't he? He was, if I remember, he was a solution architect, wasn't he?
Yes, he was a solutions architect on pre-sales, and I was on the post-sales engagement side.
Yeah, so he took those skills and obviously developed a fantastic product called CrunchBot. And out of the corner of our eye at Qlik, we were looking at that product and saw that it fits in very nicely with the way that we are going forward, which is a great synergy, isn't it, between the two companies, and that's fantastic. So you did describe some of your team there and the offices. So what is your team and where are they located around the world?
So we have consultants in Utah, we have consultants in Bay Area, some consultants in Denver, and some consultants in Kansas City. And we have office in India, which we have 20 people there. And I'm rapidly expanding that team to 34 this year. And it seems like I may have to add more. Considering all the response we have gotten for the CrunchBot. So
and that's fantastic news, isn't it? And so that in India they do the development side. So they're prevalently developers, and that's great to expand that. And it's always
so actually let me So we don't just do the development of CrunchBot. Indian team we started in 2014, so it's already, this is the 5th year, and they have deep experience in all the Qlik technologies, not just one, right? So Sense, Qlik View, and printing, geoanalytics, web connectors. Yeah, so that team is really important because we also use them to send projects there, and currently we are going to do that as well. So since they have deep knowledge in custom solutions, not only they can create products, they can also help in consulting engagements like OEM
and that's
really,
fascinating. Yeah. That's fascinating because that is not something I was aware of. So this team can do other. They're not just CrunchBot, as you just said. There's lots of other skill sets that we got there that we can drill into. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, in fact, this month, this quarter, I'm adding 8 Qlik developers in India. So if somebody is watching from India, you have friends, then we want Qlik developers, right? We want Qlik developers in that team. We also want testers and deployment specialists. So keep an eye open for Gujarat office. We will have shortly about 18 openings very soon. So.
Well, there's certainly. I mean, I've been to India many times, and there's certainly a rich seam of people there, isn't it, that can be used with the skill sets that it can be used within Qlik, which is great. So the integration fairly early days, and this is always. I mean, I've seen many integrations of companies and acquisitions of companies, and there's always a time like now where it's important that we get it right. So how has even on these early days, how has that gone so far? How has the integration gone, and how has it been received by the people at Crunch Data?
Oh man, I mean it's been extremely busy time.
Mm.
The good thing is that our integration team leaders, Drew Clark and Peter Letty, those guys have done this before with Podium. So we
Yes,
have
of
a
course.
process that we are following, and that process is step by step. We want to make sure that we scale out all the areas that we need for the
Mm.
successful launch. For an example, we have to make sure that pre-sales team has demo servers. We have capabilities in consulting organization, so we are training pre-sales and post-sales teams
Mm.
to so they can go and do the implementation, right? So plus
Yeah.
we have to sort out the support. So we are tremendous support from the field. But again, we need to make sure that we do it this right, and
Of
we are
course.
do
Yeah.
this successfully. So we are really excited, working really hard, all the consulting team and pre-sales teams to make it happen for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing you can do is just rush into these. As you rightly said, you need the patience and you need to do it properly. So, I mean, that brings us on nicely to the next question. The salespeople, they will have actually. I mean, one thing that is well, one of many things that's good about this is some of these actually will be aware of the technology already because it was a TED extension on the trusted extension list. So some will be aware already. But when are people going to be able to go out and start selling this as a Qlik product or an add-on or an extension to the Qlik family?
So, great question. As I was saying earlier, we just deployed servers for the
Mm.
pre-sales team. So now they can start demoing. We are adding more servers for the global teams, so they can at least start demoing the bot, the basic
Yeah.
functionality, right? Now, currently, our plan is to make the early access program, as you heard in the town hall. That's the path. So that program will be available from next month,
Right.
and people should be able to get into that program if they fit the profile. Uh,
Okay. Yeah, yeah, of course, and that again is important that it is the right product for the right customer. Now,
mhm.
so where do people go then if they want to find more information? I know you showed that in the town hall, but remind me and remind the people listening or watching where do they go for information?
So there are. Firstly, you should look at the Confluence page
Yeah.
that is available. That has all the information how to where to look for information. Right? If you are in the
Yeah.
field, whom you should contact. If you are in other organizations, whom you should contact, like partner managers, OEM. So that page is gonna have the latest information. So
Mm.
first you should go there. Once if you cannot get that information from there, then you should go to local leadership, and they would know whom to reach out. But I think current process is that we have a distribution list, and you should also refer to an email from January 31st from Drew Clark. I think
Right.
he also has described the process, how to qualify a lead, right?
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure that with until we are fully ramped up, we have to make sure where we get engaged. So.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, another way, I suppose, once the pre-sales people start getting trained up and access to that demo server, then you can speak to your pre-sales person, and they're a good source
Mhm.
of information.
So let me add
please.
something here. So for the pre-sale, so as I said, the servers are going up. This week and next week, we have deep dives for pre-sales and post-sales teams to learn more about how to deploy CrunchBot for the customers, how to prepare the apps and the architecture, right? Once pre-sales team, we call them SWAT teams, and it's a global team. So we will have SWAT team members in your region where you should be able to reach out to them with any questions or any technical questions or where to start, right?
Okay. Now this interview is being recorded on the 13th of February. Just so if you're listening to this in March, then hopefully the demo servers will be there. So this is the 13th of February. So a couple of weeks, by the 27th of February, most things hopefully will be in place. So going forward, then Nish, and as far as CrunchBot is concerned, and yeah, we're very early in the integration, but what have we got to look forward to in the future with the technology?
So we have short-term plans and long-term plans, right? Currently, our focus is to release CrunchBot as an extension bundle, so that it becomes for customers and partner, it becomes extremely easy to install. So that's our short-term vision. The longer term vision is that we have a couple of high demand items like voice interaction. So voice is something that we are considering as a top priority. And then we have some improvements planned for the NLU portion, which understands what user is asking for. And short term, we are focusing on scalability and performance.
Okay. So NLP, that's a natural language processing, isn't it? Because you hear the acronyms here, NLP, NLU, and NLG, and NLG is natural language generation. This is hopefully I've got this right, Nish. So you'll be testing me on this. Natural language generation, NLU, natural language understanding, and NLP, natural language processing.
Yes, you're right.
I've got that right. Excellent.
Yep.
So my memory isn't quite shot yet. Thank you so much for that. So that's fantastic, and there'll be some announcements around connections, I presume, and stuff like that going on as we go forward. And there's a change of the name of CrunchBot as well, isn't there?
Right. So that's going to happen even sooner. I think, if I'm not wrong, our current plan is to release CrunchBot as a Qlik Insight bot, and that's around March 28th or something like that. But don't quote me on that. But it is next month.
It's a roadmap thing.
No, I think it's surely in March. I just I may not be right on the date, but we are releasing it as a Qlik Insight bot, and right now we are working on that too.
Fantastic. So lots to look forward. And I must say, when they made the announcement, it was great to see that we are taking this technology on board, and good to have some old friends back again in the Qlik fold. So that's very good indeed, and very exciting for 2019. So with my spotlight interviews, Nish, if you'd watched any of them before, and I wouldn't, don't worry if you haven't, because it's very soon within Qlik. I like to ask questions about you as a person and what what makes you, Nish, you. So at the moment, I don't suppose you get an awful lot of a chance to relax, but when you do, how do you do that?
So great question, by the way. But I mean, I like a lot of things, right? I like golf. I haven't, as you said, I haven't been able to play for quite a long time. At least last year was extremely busy. End of the year with merger and everything was really busy. But I like to go out and play golf. Obviously, I like to spend time with my family. Plus, I do watercolor painting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I just picked it up, and it looks like I know what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna try to do more of that when I get chance. I like music, so I listen to music, watch movies, streaming, stuff like that.
So where are you based out of? I apologize if you mentioned it earlier, and I'm sure it's been said, but where are you based out of then? Where do you live?
So I live in San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh, nice, very nice
indeed.
Right.
So it's just nice. The place where I live, it's nice weather. So usually, even in winter, we have 360 sunny days. So You can imagine. I mean, it's amazing, right? And
Yeah, when you can see the sun through the mist.
yeah, but I live in inside, like a kind of inside, in suburb, and it's kind of a valley and protected by a lot of mountains, so I don't get that fog. So which is really good. And if there is fog, it clears out around 10. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm just going to be spending my holiday in that area this year,
yeah.
so I'm looking forward
I'm
to
about an
doing
hour
that.
away from Napa, about 60 miles from Sonoma. So a lot of wine, about an hour away from Monterey. A lot of good wines there too. So
Yeah, love Monterey. So do you you've mentioned a lot of things you do, like your golf, you like your music and so on, but do you cook at all?
I love cooking. I mean, cooking again. That's I saw the I knew you were going to ask that, and cooking is like my passion. I cook with
Yeah.
my heart, and I cook Indian biryanis, curries,
Oh.
and some of that stuff. It takes me whole day. When I make a biryani, real traditional Indian style, it takes me whole day to prepare and
Yeah.
make it. But I mean, that's my another passion. I consider cooking is very relaxing, and it's a science, right? So
Yes, it is. Well, Indian food is I mean, I'm a big lover of Indian food, and
yep.
but you notice the difference between, where I am in the UK. I think the UK is one of the biggest curry eaters I think around.
Yeah.
But basically, to India, the different tastes in India compared to an
Mm-hmm.
English curry is
Mm-hmm.
completely different, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So I make traditional. I don't make the stuff you can find in here in restaurants with a lot of
Well,
cream and stuff.
yeah, yes, yes. Well, my mouth is watering now.
De-
So when I'm over next, I shall
Definitely.
expect a biryani from Nish.
Definitely.
Excellent. So, if you were to choose, would it be a book or would it be a Kindle?
So I use iPad, Kindle on iPad because I have so many books.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of reading. I think everybody should read it. Read something, right?
Mm.
I love reading. So
Any particular subject, or is it a diverse collection?
I usually read a lot of science fiction, but it seems
Ah.
like I've read all the science fiction there is to read, all the good ones, anyways. But
Mm.
Arthur C. Clarke and few other the old guys, really good books. Then I use
Mm.
fantasy. I read fantasy, and I also books, and I also read biography and things like that.
Yeah, I've read the Game of Thrones book, but I
Hmm.
read them probably now about 20, 30 years ago. So
Wow.
all these new people that have been brought onto Game of
Hmm.
Thrones,
Hmm.
yeah, I remember it from when I was about 20 years old.
Hmm.
So it's
Yeah.
yeah, they're catching up.
Some classics, Lord of the Rings, right? I've read that
Yeah,
book like 10 times. It's
yeah,
amazing.
me
These
too.
are amazing
Oh, we could
books.
talk about books all day then, couldn't we? That's
But
fantastic.
but let me tell you something. I always tell
Yes,
people that you can read whatever books you want. For me, the best book that for me personally
yep,
is called Surely You Are Joking, Mr. Feynman, right? So it was
right.
written by Richard Feynman, who got a Nobel on the physics. So he is
Ah,
a kind of this jolly guy. I think I
mm,
recommend that book for anybody who, I read that when I feel like, okay, I'm stuck. I just read that book,
yeah.
and it gives me perspective on work and life and science. I'm a
Ah,
science fan. I love
yeah, me too,
physics.
me too.
And I didn't
Ah,
do that
okay.
good in studies, physics, but I love physics.
It's
I
easier to
love
read a book like that, isn't
right.
it? Yeah. Yeah. So surely you are joking, Mr. Feynman.
Yep.
I shall look that one up and I'll put it
Hmm.
on my Kindle
Awesome
and
book.
read
Yep.
that. Excellent, excellent. So, okay. 2019 is going to be a busy year for you. I don't suppose there'll be a lot of slowing down at all. So, what plans do you have for this year, both with Qlik, but also personally as well?
Yeah, so as you rightly said, here it's extremely difficult. It's gonna be difficult year because we have a lot of responsibility now.
Mm,
I mean, even before I had a lot of responsibility leading CrunchBot, but now I have different kind of responsibility. We are a very big organization, and we have to make sure the all the strategy that we have with Peter and Drew and everything and leadership team that we have worked. That strategy needs to be implemented. Make sure that the integration is successful, the product is in customers' hands. So it's going to be really, really busy here this year, particularly. And but great things are coming. On personal front, I just want to spend time with family. It's last 4 years has been 5 years has been really, really hard. In terms of all the time that I have put into building these companies. So now I just want to spend a little bit more time with family. Probably I may be coming to Europe in summer. With family, I wanted to just go out and see probably Switzerland or Croatia or something. Nice. I don't know.
Yeah, Croatia is. I had a holiday in Croatia last year, and it's beautiful. So I recommend Croatia.
Okay, cool. So that's my plan, and I think paint a little bit more. Read a little bit more, and I have 8-year-old daughter, so I want to and she also now started playing golf, so I want to go out and play golf with her. It's been seriously 8-9 months since I've gone out with her. So I think I'm looking forward to having that time this year.
Well, I do. Well, I obviously recommend especially an 8-year-old daughter, and playing golf as well. That should be a lot of fun. Well, I'll say welcome on board, Nish. It is an absolute pleasure to have you and your team. You and Charlie and so on back with Qlik, and the rest of your team part of the Qlik family, because it's going to be an exciting 2019. There are loads of possibilities, I think, with your technology and your team as well. So thank you so much for joining us. And I leave you with all my people I interview. I leave with a fact. An interesting fact that you can use going forward. And this one I can't believe, and I don't know how this happened, but apparently the can opener was invented 48 years after the can was invented.
Wow. Okay.
How's that work?
Good to know.
So all the stuff that's been in these tins for 48 years until they can actually take it out of the tin.
Right.
That's amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Right.
Isn't it just? Isn't it just? Yeah. Well, thanks again, Nish. Enjoy the rest of your time. You're at King of Prussia now. Hopefully, maybe look forward to seeing you next year in Europe. So welcome again to Qlik.
Thank you very much. And as I said, I'm really excited for the opportunity. Whole team is excited, and I'll see you soon.
Excellent. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.